Hello. Today we will be presenting a proposal to produce and distribute some exciting new technology. Joining me is our team, Camille Hamilton, David Warner, Josh Henry, Kristen Ferris, Nikki Maxson, Tanner West, and I'm Tricia Krenz. We will be discussing the new product, Solnce Boba, which will be sold in Russia. We will cover the VRIO analysis to determine feasibility, information regarding our competition, advertising, distribution, and sales strategies. We will also discuss the various options for modes of entry, the recommended entry strategy and risks involved, details of the finished goods being imported into Russia, the sourcing companies to use, and the logistics plans to transport the imported goods into Russia, as well as a brief overview of the proposed executive team for this venture. Seasonal affective disorder, also known as SAD, is very prominent in Russia. One of the major contributing factors to this condition is a lack of sunlight. Because of the geographical location of Russia, this can be a major issue. In fact, last year, Moscow only had 6 minutes of sunlight during the entire month of December. Currently, one of the primary treatments of SAD is for the consumer to sit in front of a special light box or lamp for about 30 minutes every morning. As you can imagine, this can be very inconvenient and cumbersome. Solnce Boba is a full spectrum light designed specifically for use in the consumer's existing recessed or track lighting. This light is an effective way to treat SAD. The consumer can enjoy the mood and health boosting benefits of the light without having to waste precious time sitting idle or storing a cumbersome table lamp when not in use. The bulb has a patent pending technology which will provide a sustained competitive advantage. Not only will this bulb be highly profitable, but it will also provide a unique treatment option to those who suffer from SAD. In order to determine the viability of this product, we conducted a VRIO analysis looking at its value, rarity, and imitability. The value in this product is primarily in its convenience. Because the bulb is able to be used in existing light fixtures, there is no need for a consumer to be stuck in front of a sun lamp for half an hour every day. They have the freedom to be mobile and go about their daily routine while receiving the necessary treatment. Solnce Boba is a first bulb of its kind. There are no similar bulbs on the market. There's currently a patent pending on it, which will prevent or delay any competitors from imitating the product. This does give us a sustained competitive advantage. Solnce Boba will have some competition. Each of these competitors competes in the global and Russian market for SAD. These companies are very large and all are formidable competitors. Despite their size, each competitor has certain weaknesses that can be exploited, resulting in an opportunity for Solnce Boba to take market share. Verilex sells primarily in the United States and only has an online presence. Shipping lamps to Russia does come with a hefty shipping price. They do not have any products in any brick and mortar stores. Although Coleman Phillips is an extremely large company with deep pockets, their focus is split between thousands of items. They do sell dawn simulators that can be effective in treating SAD. However, their marketing focus on their sun lamps are for regulating sleep instead of the treatment of SAD. Their website mentions the treatment of SAD almost as an afterthought. Allergen sells antidepressants, which are also used to treat SAD. They have recently lost 2 major lawsuits and as a result have had to lay a large portion of their staff off in order to address the resulting financial issues. SAD can affect anyone regardless of gender or age. However, the target market we have chosen for this product is Russian women ages 25 to 65 and the mid to upper class who live near Moscow and St. Petersburg with a desire to improve their mental health, as they will bring the most potential to our company. The following categories were used to identify our target market. First, demographics. While we don't want to be exclusive, we feel that those affected by SAD will benefit most. Adult women who are in the mid to upper class would more easily be able to afford our bulbs in their homes. Next, we look at psychographics. Statistically, Russian women are more likely to examine and acknowledge their mental health situation. They will do the research to look for tools and resources to improve, and then will take action. This includes purchasing products or services in an effort to improve their mental health and life. Finally, we looked at geography. Proximity to Moscow and St. Petersburg would allow our bulbs to be distributed more easily and cost effectively while capitalizing on a more dense population. The brand name for our product is Solnce Bulba. The positioning statement is Solnce Bulba is the most convenient light therapy among all sun lamps because existing light fixtures are used. The name was chosen from the translation of sun bulb. We made an effort to form a name that is short and signifies quickly what our product is and does. The logo shown here was chosen to be the best representation of what our product is. This will convey a clear message to the consumer. The bottom is a normal light bulb, and the top is the sun. The Solnce Bulba would portray the feeling of the sun coming out of the clouds. Our logo communicates exactly what our product does in a clean and simple way. The plan is to sell Solnce Bulba online, in discount stores, and in pharmacy chains for the most effective retail strategy. In the next 4 years, it is expected that there will be approximately 847 million Russian consumers who shop online. We will capitalize on this trend through online sales. Research shows that discount stores currently have the largest market share in Russia. And pharmacies are located throughout the community in Moscow and are a convenient stop for consumers. We will use a professional distributor with experience and knowledge of the local market in this industry to supply our products to retailers. A team of salespeople will be hired to work for and represent the company in Russia. They will be paid a commission plus potential bonuses based on their sales. The salespeople's job will be to contact different online retailers, discount stores, and the pharmacy chains to purchase our bulbs. These companies will then make the final sale to consumers affected by SAD. Russia has many of the same advertising outlets that are typically used in America. Social media, search engines, billboards, and other print methods are widely popular. However, the more popular websites and social media platforms in Russia are different than in the United States. Instead of Facebook, sites called VK or Odnoklassniki are more popularly used. Instead of Google, Russia's primary search engine is Yandex. The company should use VK, Odnoklassniki, and Yandex to flood the media with information and advertisements for the product. Other physical advertising will include ads on the metro systems. In Moscow alone, the 9 million people who ride the metro daily can be reached through our advertisements. This would require getting permission from the government to advertise and then inserting our printed ads into as many metro cars as possible. Here is a sample storyboard for an advertisement for Solnce Bulba. The opening scene is a series of several people of different ages and genders walking into the metro surrounded by a dark cloud representing their depression or sadness. Depicted here is a man with his cloud of sadness, but in the actual ad, there would be many people without clouds walking past. The people then enter into the metro car, standing out from the crowd because of their cloud of sadness. The people sit down to ride the metro and look up to see our logo ad on the wall. The sun at the top of the bulb begins to shine and fill the screen with sunlight. They are now no longer surrounded by a dark cloud, but have joy instead. The scene switches to a hand screwing the light bulb into a light fixture common in Russian homes, and the light turns on. The final scene shows our logo and brand name. Solnce Bulba will be sold individually for $9.95 in US dollars or 653 rubles. They can also be purchased in sets of 4 for the price of $35 or 2,297 rubles. Prices for competitors' bulbs range from $9.95 up to $107, respectively. It is recommended to use a lower price point with the goal of gaining a larger share of the market. Most fixtures will require multiple bulbs, And this packaging strategy provides a cost-effective way to get our product into the consumer's home. Using a penetration strategy, it was determined to use a lower price point in order to gain a larger share of the market. Placing our product in the lower end of the competitor's pricing spectrum allows for maximum market growth. Most fixtures will require multiple bulbs, and this packaging strategy provides a cost-effective way to reap the mood-boosting benefits of the product. Although the initial price will be lower than the target price, it will encourage early adopters to try the product and can result in word-of-mouth advertising and a larger market share. Due to the originality of the product, there is a need to educate consumers on its benefits. This will require a larger promotional budget for the first 6 months on the market. After this period, advertising will be scaled back to be more in line with the competition's advertising. Although the penetration pricing plan will reduce revenue in the beginning, it has the potential to increase market share and word-of-mouth advertising, which is one of the primary goals of this pricing plan. The ramp-up period will cut into the profits slightly. However, since this is not a long period of time, it should not have a significant effect on the overall profit for the year. Much consideration was placed into determining the best modes of entry for this product. It was determined that the following modes would not be viable for the Solse bulb. Licensing would occur if the company charges a fee to allow another company to produce and sell the product. We also looked at franchising, in which our concepts, expertise, and branding would be used to open up independent businesses for a fee. We also considered a turnkey project in which we would hire a company to coordinate and get the business ready to be operated. Once it is completed, we would simply need to provide financing and labor. Those modes were eliminated for various reasons. Then we were able to consider contract manufacturing, which is the outsourcing of the production of products to a manufacturing company. We also considered opening a wholly owned subsidiary, which would operate independently from the parent company. However, the parent company would still maintain control of that subsidiary. We also considered acquiring another company in an acquisition, establishing ourselves as a clear owner, as well as the possibility of merging with an established company in Russia to become one. Finally, we considered a joint venture in which we would join with another company to create a new entity altogether. The venture would have its own identity, while the originating companies maintained their original identities. We also discussed whether we would
Trisha,
directly to the consumers.
I think that noise that just barely happened, that's like live right now, right?
Yeah,
It's
a motorcycle or something. Yeah. Okay. I'm like, and it kind of cut out a couple times, but I think that it's because of this live. Anyway.
A plant to manufacture the bulb itself. By contracting with an existing light bulb manufacturer in Russia, it will lower production costs and build working relationships with local manufacturers and distributors. In manufacturing, there are many variables that can interfere with the quality and quantity of the product. When using a contract manufacturer, it is important to build a good working relationship. In order to help mitigate those risks, we will maintain a quality personnel at the plant and conduct routine checks to ensure the best quality and quantity of the product. A level of safety stock will be maintained in order to ensure a large enough quantity is maintained in order to meet the consumer's needs. There will also be a contract in place to enforce penalties in case quality and quantity obligations are not met. The three most relevant sourcing companies to be suppliers to import this filament for the spectrum lighting would be Zhanquan Zhangao Enterprise Company, Zeta Products Limited, and Jin Lighting, which is also known as Shenzhen Company. Zhanquan is based in China and was founded in 1978. The main production base has a staff of more than 20,000 people. They are known as Asia's largest household electrical appliance production base and are in cooperative partnerships with big companies such as Philips, Toshiba, and Walmart. Sanquin has an excellent reputation with international buyers and sends out over 14,000 shipments annually. The downside to this company is that China is not with the free trade agreement like they used to be, and so tariffs are more expensive. They will cost about 30.9 rubles per kilogram of pork. Next, we have Zeta Products, which has been in business since 1977 and are based in Taiwan. Zeta has always had a track record of on-time deliveries to international companies, but the bank transfers for payment to companies in Taiwan are difficult and complex. Also, their geographic location makes international transport problematic. Taiwan and Chinese have troubles relationships that prevent Taiwanese companies from crossing through China. Finally, we have Jin Lighting, which was founded in 1972 from China. Jin Lighting is a leading international manufacturer of functional lighting. The factory size is about 7,000 square meters. They have grown to over 2,000 employees with an annual turnover of about 50 million US dollars. After careful consideration, Sanquin is recommended as a sourcing company. China has a relatively short trade route, and they have also begun constructing a new project called the New Silk Road, which is a trade route that will accelerate and reduce the cost of delivery of Chinese goods to Russia. Their excellent reputation with international buyers put them over the top in consideration. The filaments will be shipped by boat from the warehouse in Zhangzhou, China to St. Petersburg, Russia. The voyage from the port of Xiamen, China to the port of St. Petersburg will take about 25 days. Once they have arrived in St. Petersburg, they will be transported by truck to the contract manufacturer for production. The total time for the shipment will take approximately 55 days. This allows time needed for loading the ship, the berthing period, the unloading time to customs warehouse for release, and the truck loading and unloading process. The entire transport cost would add up to about $5,000 per shipment. The company will need several documents for clearance to ship the filaments. These documents include freight declarations, contracts, import licenses, certificates, and licenses to import. There is a tariff of about 14% of the total cost of the items being shipped. It is important to have a clear organizational hierarchy. It is recommended to use a polycentric staffing approach. Russia is known for its executive business talent, therefore it will not be necessary to use expatriates in this venture. The global CEO of the Russian,
sorry guys. You didn't really want to hear about the global CEO anyway, did you?
I'd like to thank you for your attention. Please let myself or
Okay, apparently it doesn't want to let me do that part.
I trust it. I think judging from the rest of it, it sounds great.
They're like, ah!
Yeah, I was just going to say the same thing. Very good job. A lot of talking.
I still need to redo the modes of entry. I can't stand how that turned out. It's driving me crazy. Do you guys want to hear a funny story?
Yeah.
So I was up till about midnight working on that. And then I just went to bed and just lay there just stressing about it. So I went to work this morning, had less than 2 hours of sleep, walk in, t-shirt, jeans, hair in a ponytail, no makeup or anything like that. Sit down, log in, email, and see that I have an interview for an internship today.
Oh, shoot.
Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, dang it.
So
did you make
sorry guys, I've been out of the office, so. Oh my, that's good. And my voice was like shot. I mean, you could hear how bad it was getting towards the end. It was like, it ain't coming out anymore.
Yeah.
That's so bad. Oh my God.
So was the interview at your company? Are you doing your internship there?
Yeah, it's just another position within the company.
Oh,
I
okay.
kind of know the people, so we were able to laugh it off, but
That's good.
The concept of it kind of like.
So, 2 hours of sleep. Oh dear.
well, and then one of the guys that was interviewing, he's like the head of the department. He was WebExing in from Dublin, and the internet kept cutting in and out, and he has a really strong accent anyway, so I'm catching like every fifth word.
Oh dear.
Like,
Plus your brain's not working from like the 2 hours.
So yeah, it was just a hot mess all the way around. So I'm like, you know what? If I don't get it, no big deal. I don't care. I'll just put in to have it waived.
I have like my Russian class on Thursdays, and it starts at 11:30. And we had a test today, so I wanted to wake up early to like be able to study. I studied for it yesterday, and then I was like, hey, I want to like study in the morning. I woke up at like 11:16, and that like is when I need to leave in order to get there on time. So I like, threw my hair up. Like I usually wear contacts. I like threw my glasses on. Like threw on some pants. Like ran up to school, and to get to from like where I live to the building, it's like this uphill like 10-minute walk.
Oh.
So and then the tests start at the end of class, but then today they were at the beginning of class, and my brain like was so not there.
It's like, wait, still waking up, trying to process.
Trying to like speak Russian and
Dang it.
Oh gosh. One day. Okay, so other than the modes of entry, did you guys have anything else that we need to switch up, or?
I think the only thing that I heard was I'm sorry for doing this, but I like had put the purpose statement, and I realized that the grammar like didn't make sense because it was like solnce bulba and bulba plural, and so I said like those like bulbs are instead of like solnce bulba is, and so I don't know, that's not like that big of a deal. So in the thing you say like solnce bulba is a blah blah blah, but then the PowerPoint slide reads solnce bulba bulbs.
I didn't even catch that.
That's like I noticed it because I remembered that I didn't change it in the Google Doc, so I don't know if it's that big of a deal to like go back and change.
I'll go back to that slide. There it is. Okay. Sorry. And I need to figure out how to hit the mute button when I'm sharing and recording that, but still have it record from the computer. I haven't figured that out yet.
Oh, yeah.
You can hear how much background noise I have going on. So either that or go find a cave or something.
Yeah. And even I was gonna say though too with that modes of entry, it wasn't like nearly as bad as I was thinking it was gonna be. Like I don't know, I felt like are you adding more information? Like when
that's what I was gonna ask. What do you not like about it?
I kind of think we need to say why we did not go with the ones that were not feasible. I feel like he's gonna push back on that.
Okay.
And I asked him, I said, just for the sake of time, for the presentation only, do you need the definition for each of these? He said, yes. I'm like, ugh. So.
Yeah, because how it is right now, I was like, oh, that's actually not terrible. Because I was thinking, like, with all that information, like, it would be on the slide for forever, and it didn't feel that bad.
Yeah.
But I guess if you're going back and adding in.
Yeah, adding, I think we kind of need to.
Okay.
I'm just not sure. Wait, we can duplicate slides, right?
That's what I was about to tell you. So I would duplicate it and then cut one from one side and the other from the other.
Okay, cool. And then also on the second slide, the product description. I think we need to switch the underserved markets and the product details. They're like, we talk about the underserved first, but it's second on the slide. When I was trying to switch them over, I couldn't get the bullet points to be the same color before. So right now they're actually black. Nope, I didn't. Actually, they're black on the one that I uploaded. Let's see.
Can I do it on this Google thing that you have?
You can, but I don't think that would help because that wouldn't be the one that the recording is actually on.
Okay.
I was like, oh, sweet. If I can just, you know what you did. And
Yeah.
but,
I'm trying to think. Are you working on it through PowerPoint?
mm-hmm.
So usually when you go to do like bullet points, it lets you like format them. And so
I'd like to thank you for your friendship.
You kind of have to like double click on it or like 2-finger click on it, and then it'll open up and give you like bullet points.
Let me check.
Or there's another thing where if you highlight them, you can click with 2 fingers and like to do the changing the color. There's something that's called like an eyedropper. And so what you can do is you can hover over the other bullet point colors and it'll like make the other bullet points the same.
Okay. And if not, then they just may be black squares. Or do you want to leave them how they are? I mean, we could. I just think it would be... Actually, hold on. Hold that thought. Oh, what did I just do? I guess if I just type over it, then that would work too. See, I'm making this more difficult than it needs to be.
Can you not just drag the text box and switch them?
Oh gosh. See, this is why I shouldn't be working on this after I haven't slept. Let's see. No, it's not dragging the text box. Oh, no, it is. Oh, you're so smart.
It happens sometimes.
My brain is like literally shut off. I had one of my customers calling and just sitting there just screaming at me today. I just kind of sat there like, I don't even care. Just whatever.
Just take it. That's fine. Oh, that's sick, Trisha. I'm sorry.
When she finally stopped, I was like, okay, now this is a reason why.
Oh my goodness. That's so crazy. If that had been me with like the lack of sleep, I would have just like broken down into tears and been like, you know what? I haven't slept.
Oh, I'm used to her. She's an interesting person.
They're the best.
Somebody stole her son's ID and she's bound and determined she's going to make me fix it without her having to lift a finger. I'm like, that's not how it works.
Thing.
It's like, why haven't you sent this stuff to Sprint yet? Well, because you didn't send me what I need to send to them. Well, you should still be telling them. I can't tell them anything because I don't have your paperwork.
That's so funny. People think things are so...
Come on.
My fiance works at like BYUI's call center. And he just gets people that like call in and just yell at him for like school policies, and he's like, I'm not like the one that determines these things.
I didn't do it.
Yeah, like
seriously, I didn't think he'd have to deal with that as much with the call center. I'm just like, ugh. Okay.
Yeah.
So I got those switched over. Looks much better now.
I feel like there's a story like every day. What was that?
Do you think, let me pull it up again real quick. Yeah, working with the public in a call center is definitely an interesting experience. Okay, can you see it now?
Oh my. Are you trying to share your screen or are you on the
Mhm.
doc?
Yeah, I'm sharing the screen. Can you see it?
No, there we are. Oh my gosh. Yes, got it.
So I kind of feel like this almost needs a picture in the background. What do you think?
Okay, so that was I was trying to figure that out, but my reason for not putting one there is because there's a picture on the first slide and there's a picture on the third slide, and then it goes back to like nothing on the fourth. So I felt weird about having like picture, 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 and then like nothing.
Yeah.
We could add like there's different backgrounds that are like texture, like they're called like texture or something. If you click on like if you two finger click on the slide, okay, and format background.
Okay.
The thing should open on the side.
Oh, sorry, it just blurbed you out there.
Maybe. There it goes. Okay, so the gradient fill, picture or texture.
The gradient fill, that one?
Or picture or texture. So you could do a color that way. But the texture is kind of cool. That one, like, there's like burlap or.
Not that.
Where there's different patterns.
Let's see.
Yeah, you could do one of those. Something kind of like simple and.
I think I like the picture, that one better. Let's see.
And then you just search like, let's see what's that site about? Product description. Or
What's that look like? And it says nope.
and then I would just make it super
light.
transparent.
Sorry, it's cutting out again. Was it doing this when the recording was going? It's still thinking about it. Then how do you make it transparency?
Just increase that.
That's
the other thing I think that maybe would be making the text box like a color, like do you know what I'm saying? The text box be a blank. So then two finger click on the text box.
Hold on. Let me get rid of these lights. I don't like those in there. They make it like too busy. Come on. Okay, is there a quick, easy way to get rid of those?
Yeah, so if you go to back to your background format, then you can just take out the picture, like go back to solid fill instead of picture fill.
Okay, jeez. This is being stupid.
and then change your color back to white or whatever.
Yeah, I think the texture fill is probably the best.
I didn't think the gradient fill wasn't bad either.
Remind me what that looked like.
That one, and then, I mean, you could like adjust it however.
Let's see.
Easy hospital, man.
Yeah, that's okay. That works.
Like a little bit better than the blank.
Yeah,
Just
plain white.
that's just me like being slightly OCD. Will you move the like sad, prominent, and that like text box like up
Over?
and to the left a little bit?
Yeah.
It should snap. Like it'll show you where it lines up. With like, yeah, do that. Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh. Does that look like a little bit tilted now? No, it's not.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, cool. I think we're done fine with that one. All right, so from what you guys could see, all I really need to do is just the modes of entry. Potential competitor analysis. Or something on here. Oh, I took out the bulb on the product. It's just kind of, they sell the sun lamp and the replacement bulbs. So it made it look a little less cluttered.
Yeah, that looks great.
So, okay, I will. Any other suggestions?
Nope, I thought it was really good.
All right, I'll go ahead and I'll post this and just ask everybody to watch it. Maybe we'll just do that instead of the meeting tonight. To say, hey, if you have any suggestions, let me know by 8 o'clock so I can make sure that we get it in on time.
Okay. Did you say instead of meeting?
Yeah, because kind of the only reason we were going to meet was to watch it and go over it. Now everybody has it so they can look at it. And if there's anything, they can just go into the group chat. Are you guys okay with that?
Instead, yeah. Have people edited the second paper? How's that coming along? I haven't even looked at it today.
Cutting you out again. I'm like so mad at my internet provider. It's been horrible for the past 2 weeks.
That's annoying.
Yeah.
I was just saying, have a lot of people done their edits on the second paper? I haven't looked today, so I don't know.
I haven't looked at it in the past couple of days, but as of the last time I was in there, no, not really.
Yeah, that's what last time I was there. So maybe we'll say instead of meeting, watch the video and done. So I'm planning Saturday to do that with you. Does that work for you, Tricia?
Yeah, it does.
Or even Friday, I guess. But I don't think people will be done.
Probably not. Well, they should be done by tonight. That's what we kind of all were shooting for. Since I have the three of us, I did want to just kind of run something past you real quick. For modes of entry, I wanted to change what we have to include, basically what he said, what Brother John said with the wholly owned subsidiary, and then also bring up direct and indirect export. He actually explained that to me a little bit better, so it makes sense. It's not that we're exporting items out of the country. That's just how we're getting it to our member or to our consumers. So if it's a direct export, then basically we're selling that on the website directly to the customer. If it's indirect, then we're selling it to a wholesaler or to a retail store or something like that, who is then selling it to a customer.
Oh,
So that's what that is. I'm like, well, duh.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That would have made sense.
It would. Well, and the slides that he sent out didn't really touch on them at all.
Right.
I couldn't really find anything online, so I finally just jumped in to ask him. I'm like, I don't know what to do. So
Yeah. Well, yeah. So you want to change it to talk about
talk about the wholly owned.
Holy. Yeah, that's right. Wholly owned
Yeah, the wholly owned subsidiary, and then the direct indirect exporting along with the contract manufacturing. So, and then I think that will kind of cover what he had talked about with the first section with sale or with modes of entry. We just want those changes made. So,
Did you have any specific plans for that chicken?
probably to be made it for dinner at some point.
Okay, I was just wondering if I wanted to use it.
I was thinking about it, but that's not going to happen this week. So if you wanted to use it, go for it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, good. Okay.
Okay.
Well, what can I help with?
Well, since I can't email it out to anybody, then I'm kind of. I wish there were a way to get it to someone that had a more stable internet connection, so they could do the actual posting it. But I don't know how to do that because the file's too big. So
I'm trying to think of how Tanner, because that's what he did for me that one time.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a little bit smaller of a file.
Maybe that's why the sound was off, because he made this file smaller. Maybe that raised it a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
I like it sounded fine on your computer and everybody else's. It was kind of like an echo.
Right.
Ah, we finally figured that out.
Because I'm like, it sounds good. What are you guys talking about? But so
yeah. So I might just have to go over to somebody that has a decent internet connection's house to upload it.
And I don't know, I doubt that like anyone, of course like everyone should watch it, but I doubt that anyone's gonna have anything else that like we haven't talked about. So you could just start trying after, as soon as like you get done like making the changes, upload it to YouTube and then pull the link that way. So then you're not having to like email it or like submit it that way.
Yeah.
I don't know how you're planning on submitting it, but
Well, I think the only way I can, or is there a way to upload it directly to YouTube without doing like a Zoom or something?
yeah, I thought so. Is it saved as like a video?
that's what I did last time. Now that you're saying that, Camille, I think.
Just upload it as a file? Huh. Well, that would be a whole lot better than trying to do it as a Zoom, because then I don't have all the background noise that with the live stuff. Okay, I'll try that.
It's easier to like share. I don't know. I feel like all you have to do is get it into YouTube, and then there shouldn't be any other like discrepancies.
Yeah.
Well, I'll do a trial one with the with this one that we have here, and then I'll see if I can figure it out.
Okay. Cool.
Cool. Alrighty, thank you.
All right. Thank
All right.
you.
Talk to you guys later.
Okay.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.